The Brian Mudd Show is on News Radio 610 WIOD.
All right, now, one of the things that might have happened over the weekend, by chance, might have received a stimuli check. So the stimulus did start to get rolled out. Approximately 85% of households receiving a stimulus. Anytime you have something like this, you have opportunists that try to scam folks, though. And we have Kevin Campbell joining us from Syniti, the CEO of data management company Syniti, syniti.com. Is the website. And Kevin, what are your concerns? What are some of the trends that you're seeing out there that we might be mindful of around this stimulus?
Hey, thanks for having me on. You know, as I always like to say, you know, we've got to protect our data, right, and our own personal data. And every time there's something that comes out, then the opportunists, as you say, jump in. So the number one thing I'm hearing about right now is people asking to click on links. And for anybody who's heard me before or we've talked before, I tell you, don't ever click on a link. So, and some things, most recent one was click on a link and there's a spreadsheet and the spreadsheet launches a whole bunch of viruses. But in general, clicking on a link from somebody you don't know is a bad idea. So if somebody sends you something and it's interesting, go to their website directly. Don't click on a link. That way you avoid the things that, the kind of the malicious hooks that they have out there to steal. I even hear people calling on the phone pretending they're a government agency. Trust me, most government agencies will never call you. In fact, even if you ask them to call you, they don't call you. So it's unlikely that it's really a government agency. It's somebody pretending to be one. And if they do, get a phone number, check it out before you call back.
And to Kevin's point, this would be true during tax season, the IRS as well. The only time that a federal agency will ever initiate contact with you is if you are already in process with them and it's something that has been scheduled, anticipated, what have you. They'll never start communication with a phone call to you. So that's always a tell as well. Kevin, you know, you bring up such a good point about the links because sometimes what can happen is we end up realizing what we've done after we have hit it. And it's like, oh, crap, can I stop this? And now, so if somebody is concerned that maybe they have gotten themselves into trouble with something that is rogue, what's a good way of going about trying to deal with it?
I would go to their website right away and see if it's legitimate. And if it is, or if it isn't, it might be a good time to change your passwords to something else more complicated because they probably wanted to steal your password. Now, if for some reason you typed in your Social Security number or your bank account number on the Social Security number, you can go check with Social Security, or you can buy a credit monitoring service that'll tell you if somebody accesses your Social Security number, and those are fairly inexpensive.
Yeah, Kevin.
And then, of course, your bank, you should have two-factor authentication on with your bank, so that that means that they've got to go to your phone number. It's like a second lock on the door.
It seems like in general we've been making progress in overall security. I mean, are we, or is that just a perception with some of these additional authentications that you're talking about?
No, I think we're making progress. I always tell people, if you want to check, though, turn your Wi-Fi on and drive down the street and see how many of your neighbors pop up with no password on their home Wi-Fi. And you'll still see there's quite a few of them out there that allow you to borrow their Wi-Fi for free. But with the two-factor authentication and more things being available, I think we've made progress. The challenge is, again, the scammers are working twice as hard. They're hiring more talented people. And so, you know, as we get better, they continue to push. But it usually comes back to fundamentals, complex passwords on everything, two-factor authentication, and, you know, make sure that you institute the changes.
Kevin, it's a good update, and I always appreciate you spending the time with us. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on. Have a great day.